Hi, this is Lucas with the 6th tutorial of this series of how to create a simple breakout game. So, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create all the 3 menus included in the game. The main menu, the game over buttons which are play, gain and exit, and the same thing goes for the U1 scene. So, let's begin with the main menu. So let us create a new scene, change the camera projection to orthographic, and save the scene as menu. So once that's done, we need to add some assets. So let us create a new folder called images and import some assets from that resource folder that can be found in each of the tutorials. So bottom BG, center BG, left BG, right BG, and finally top BG. And in the sounds we are going to import the intro music, sorry. It is a bit long, so that's why it is not loading quickly. So let us untick the trigger sound and apply. So once that's done, let us go in the images folder right here, and we have all these backgrounds. So these assets will form one background, one complete background, but we have to have them separated because in the final tutorial I'm going to show you how to create that simple animation you saw in the beginning of the balls bouncing on the screen from the top to bottom. Therefore we have to have them separated. Now we have to begin creating the background. So go and create a plane and name it center. Rotate it by 90 on the X and by 180 on the Y, and you will see that gray box, that gray plane. So now we are going to scale it up on the X 26.67, something like that. Let us reset it. Reset the position. I'm going to do the rotation again so that it is more accurate. 180, okay, it is in the center, and now let's scale it up on the X. Something like that should do, I think. Yes. So 26.69, and the position is minus 0.34 on the X. So now we have to increase the Z also. We have to increase the Z because we rotated it by 90 degrees, that's why, instead of the Y. Let us a bit on the Y, let us increase the position and increase the Z again. Let's see that size, that should do. So the next thing is to add the material to this plane. So we just drag the center BG on it, exactly like that. And now we have to add some directional light so that we give it a bit of light, as we can see. Let's make the rotation on X 0, and something like that should do, so that it lightens it up a bit. Now the next thing is that we have to create 4 other planes right here and add the rest of the images to them and create a complete background. So game object create plane 90. Let's reset the position first of all. Make it 90 on the X, 180 on the Y. Let's move that backward and this backward as well. Now I'm going to make the projection orthographically on the X so that it is, as you can see, flat and I can be more accurate. So let's increase the scale. So you can get this from the other one, something like that, and we can add also now the top BG to it right there, rename to top so that we can know. We move it a bit upwards, don't worry, it is squashed because we are now going to increase its size. So on the Z we increase its size. Something like that I think should do. Exactly. Don't worry about that thin line, doesn't matter. So the first one has been done. So now let us duplicate that layer of the top, Control D, and rename it to bottom. We just drag it right here in position and drag the bottom, sorry for opening it, drag the bottom on the bottom layer, and that should also be done exactly as we want to. Now we have to create the left and right. So add another plane. We can duplicate this plane, also rename it to left, and we change its values. So drag the left BG on the left exactly, and we scale it down until it covers the area that we need. So let's scale it a bit down again, scale it a bit up. Okay, and now we scale it up on the Z. So let's see, put it a bit down. And something like that, I think. A bit more. Something like that would do, I think. We just need to put it a bit inside, inwards. Something like that should do. So now we just duplicate the left layer, move it here, and add the right BG to it. Sorry for not renaming it. Rename it to right and drag the right BG. I think we have to increase some of the size. Yes, just increase some of the X. That's all, and that's done exactly as we want to. Now once that is done, we're going to drag them a bit like that so that we can later on have space to add some things in that empty space that we have. That's why we splitted the background into pieces. Now the next thing that we want to add obviously are the two buttons right here, start button and exit. So that is very simple. Just go to game object, create other, and treat the text, rename that to start game, We also have to create another folder called fonts, and here we have to add another asset, the font Dolce Vita, so that it matches the title Arachnoid. So go on the start game, change the hello world text to start game. Let's make it capital letter, increase the font size, and we also have to change the font. Right here, instead of Arial, we just drag the Dolce Vita. And we have to increase a bit the font, the font size. Right there. Now just have to duplicate the start game and rename that to exit, and put it a bit downwards on the other button, and change that to exit, and center it a bit, and I think that's done. So the next thing is that we have to add some things to the text. So select the start game, go to game object, create other, go to component, physics, box collider. And what this does is that it creates this green box, as you see, and so that we can later on hit virtually this text. If we haven't got the collider, nothing collides with the text, therefore we cannot press it. Therefore the collider serves so that the button can be hit. So let's make the size of the collider a bit like the text, so a bit like that. It is roughly, don't make it like that to exactly. So the same thing goes for the exit, and let's make a box collider to it as well. Drag it up the Y, something like that, increase on the X, that's it. Okay, so that is done as well, and as you can see, there are the start game and exit right there. So now we have to add some scripting to them so that they take us to the desired location. So go in the script, create JavaScript, and we are going to call it button controller. So this button controller, let's rename it to main menu controller. That's better, because we need to create the same thing but change some things of the game over ND1. So let's open it up. Once the script has been loaded, we are going to add some things. So we are going to add some reserved functions to it, and I'm going to tell you obviously what they mean. So we are going to have here the sound playing obviously in the background. We're going to add some music. So, and here the start game will be black, also the exit will be black, and when I hover over one of them it changes to another color. I think I'm going to use red because it contrasts a bit. So we have first of all to add some variables. Var quit equals false. We don't have to include the boolean, and here var intro of type audio clip. Now in the start we have to change the color of the buttons to black, so we have to say renderer dot material dot color equals color dot black in our case. So that changes the color, and we also have to play the sound. So audio dot play one shot, and in the brackets we say intro. That's all. So now the update function isn't required because we are not going to do anything in the update. We can delete it, save the script, and here we are going to add 3 reserved functions of Unity. So function on mouse enter, when the mouse hovers over the buttons. Function on mouse exit, which means when the mouse is not or hovers out of the buttons. And finally function on mouse up, which means when the user clicks the button. So let's begin from the enter. When we hover over the button, we want it to change the color to red. So copy and paste the first line of the start function and change the color dot black to color dot red. On the exit, we need to change again the color. So copy and paste that line, and we have to have it black. So now when the user presses the mouse up, we need to take him either in the game scene or exit the game. So we say if quit equals true, we exit the application dot quit, else we need him to take us to the game scene. So application dot load level, and here we write game, the name of the scene we want him to take to. So once that's ready, we save, and we have to drag this script onto the 2 buttons. So on the start game, right there, and onto the exit button. Now you are saying, how come you are saying quit is true when we are never changing it in the code? That's why we are going to do that in Unity. So go on exit, and here on the script you will see quit, and here you have a checkbox. Just tick the box so that it is turned true, and here it is true and the code can be executed. Simple as that. And here leave it as it is without ticking it. Now the next thing is that we have to add the intro music, and we have to do that by go on one of the buttons, which one you want. Go on audio source, play on awake, because we want it to play on awake when the scene is loaded, and here we add the intro music. Just save the start game, leave it empty, because we want to play it once. And if we play it, we can see the sound playing in the background, and here changing the respect as we want. Now if we press start game, it will take us to the game. Simple as that. Now that's ready. So save. The next thing is the game over and you won scenes. So they are very similar to what we did. So let us create. First of all, let us go on the game over and delete this 3D text. So let's create a plane again for the background. This will not be splitted, just it was splitted for the main menu. So rotate that to 90 and 180, scale it up. Let's make the position 0, 0 and 0. And scale it up on the X like that, and scale it up on the Z, something like that. Exactly. We have to add a directional light, change the rotation on X to 0 like that, perfect. And now we have to go on the images, add a new asset called game over background, and drag that image on the plane, and game over background should appear. So now we have to create the buttons like we did with the main menu. So game object, create other, and 3D text, make them in front of the plane, scale them up, I don't know why it is not okay. I know why, because we were behind the camera. Change that to play again now, not start game, not pay again. We don't want to pay, we want to play again. And change the font also to Dolce Vita. Let's zoom a bit and place that here in the middle, right there. Rename that to play again, duplicate that and rename that to exit. Exit. And center it a bit. Now we have to add another script. So let's go here and create a new JavaScript called game over controller. Game over controller, and we have to create another one called to cater for the sound of the game over. So let us create it. Let us rename that to button controller. Rename that button controller. Okay, and here we say game over controller. Sorry, instead of renaming the other one, just we have to. So let's open the button controller and the game over controller. So let us begin from the game over controller. So in this we are going to add a very small chunk of code. So we just have to declare a variable for the sound. So var game over sound of type audio clip. Okay, and at the start we want it to play. So audio dot play one shot, and here we are going to say game over sound, like that. And we have to reset the lives and score because obviously we have lost. So we go here and say game controller dot score equals 0, and game controller dot lives is resetted to 3, and save. Just that thing, small code. So once that's done, we need to go on the button controller, on the main menu controller, copy all the code right here, remove this intro audio clip, and here display one shot also, and we just have to change some things. No, we don't have to change anything, just like that. We had to create this one separated for the main menu, because we later on have to create that animation and some things can collide. So that's why this is going to cater for the game over and for the U1 screen, and this will obviously cater for the game over only, but we are going to create a very similar one for the U1 screen. So we just need to drag the button. We forgot something. We forgot to add the collider to it. So component physics box collider, component physics box, not sphere collider, but box collider. Let's change a little bit the size, like that, and like that. That's done as well. Now we have to add the button controller to the buttons. Tick, obviously, the quit, don't forget it. And the game over controller, we have to add it to the plane instead of, for example, an empty game object or something like that. So go on the sounds and add, import new asset and add the game over sound, game over. Change it to the, like that. Go on the plane and add the game over to it. Control save. We have to create an audio source as well. Component audio source. We have to play it on awake and drag the game over there. Just save, and if we play it,
game over.
Obviously I didn't play the game and lose all the lives, but let's play the game and see the final result for the game over scene. So go on the game, we lose, all the lives are gone, and the scene comes up with the sound as well. If we play again, we just play again. The exit will not work when running the game from here, because it cannot exit, but when you build the settings and you exit the game, it will obviously work. So the next thing is to create the same exact thing for the U1 screen. So U1, go on U1, delete this, add a plane. Let's make it a bit quick, this one. Rotate by 90, 180, 0, 0, 0, bit back, scale that up, images, import the asset U1 background, drag it on the plane, add a directional light, change the X to 0. That's it. Now we have to create the 3D text, rename to play again, here play again, change the font to Dolce Vita, increase the font size, something like that should do. Duplicate layer, rename that to exit, and here we have to write exit. Okay, we have to add a box collider to them, so physics box collider, change a bit the size, make it center. The same thing goes for the exit, physics box collider, change a bit the size and drag it upwards. Save. Now we go on the scripts, we create another JavaScript called U1 controller, we open it, we go on the game over controller, copy the whole code and paste it in the U1 controller. Just rename the sound to U1 sound, and here U1 sound. We need to reset also the score and life, so leave it like that. So now we just drag the U1 controller onto the plane and the button controller onto the play again and the exit. So sorry, instead of U1 here we just say U1 sound. So on the exit we have to tick it, the quit. With the plane we have to add the U1 sound, so go on sounds and import the U1 sound, one sound, change it to D. This is the same exact steps we took for the game over. So go on the play again, it's done, exit is done. The plane we have to add the U1 sound here and add an audio source, so component audio source, play on awake and just drag the U1 here, save, and if we play it we have the same exact result. And if we play if we choose play again, we can play. That's it. So I think that was a bit of a work, but finally we have all the results that we want. Hope you enjoyed this part of the tutorial. See you in the next. I think the next one will be adding some textures, and the last one will be adding the final animation to the main menu. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again.